Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and I am excited. We just got news that we're going to get a Platinum Edition Hero set that's going to have Kup, it's going to have Blur, it's going to have RC and Springer and Ultra Magnus. I guess in celebration of 30 years of Transformers the animated movie, and I am excited. I can't wait. And, okay, I'm here. Hey Kup, aren't you excited? Excited about what? That you're getting a re-release in a platinum set, no less. You woke me up from a nap for that. Sorry. I'm going back to bed. You can't leave just yet. Why not? Because you're going to be the focus of our next GotBot True Review. Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and as always, I'm going to ask you to check me out across social media. Check out Machinery Man and check out the Everything Factor. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we're going to take a look today at the Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Sergeant Kup, or as we all know him, just Kup. I thought it was a great time to look at this guy because we just got news of a new Platinum Edition set that's going to be coming out, a hero set. It's going to have a reissue of this guy in it. Now, obviously this is not the version from that Platinum set. In looking at that set and looking at this guy, basically where you see gray on this guy on the upper arms, the hands, the thighs, that's going to be I guess a blue, almost like an aqua type of blue. I think the green that is used throughout his body, or the seafoam green, I guess, that's used throughout his body here, I think that might be a little bit brighter, just based on the pictures we've gotten so far. I believe his feet are still going to be silver. So I thought that we would take a look at this figure now to see, is he worth it? Is he a good figure? Is he a bad figure? And of course, we're going to look at him like we always look at our figures: paint apps, posability, playability, and transformation. The paint apps for this guy, I thought they were good. I thought it was a good representation of Kup when I got him, and I gave his paint apps, about a 9, really, because I said, yeah, it's Kup. You're not going to mistake that it's Kup. I like the head sculpt. Personally, some people don't really like it, but I like it. Also, I should note that on the Platinum Edition, the Autobot symbol isn't up here. It's more down below it right here. I don't know if you'd really call that his abdomen or lower chest. Anyway, I said that the paint apps for this guy was a 9. In the Platinum Edition, just based on the pictures I've seen, I'm going to say the paint apps are a 10. I'm going to say that that is a definitive paint scheme for Kup. Great start. Now we get into posability, playability. Well, in truck mode, he rolls like a champ. This weapon back here that I'll get into in a little bit has excellent storage. And in robot mode, well, the head, it can look down kind of in his chest though. It doesn't really look up a whole lot. It does go left, it does go right. There is some beautiful light piping if you can get the light on it the right way. The shoulders go way out. They go right around 360. There is a bicep swivel. There's actually 2 joints at the elbow, here and like there at the elbow to bend it up, but then there's also a joint out to the side and a joint in like this. It's strange, I know. And my understanding is, based on the stock photography, my understanding from the actual transformation is that the forearm should be this way, with, I guess, the gap of the mushroom peg pointing out. And this truck chunk should be turned down like this. Which way do you like the arms? I feel like this is a little more, I don't know, obtrusive maybe? Just with this hanging down over his hand. It's okay, but personally I prefer putting the truck piece behind his arm. And really just leaving it flipped up like this. But I mean, you know, obviously it's your call as to what you want to do. It's, you know, it's your choice, it's your figure. Let's talk about this gun for a second that's up here. Oh, actually, before that, I should finish his articulation, I guess. You know, no waist swivel, but that's because of transformation. Legs way out. I mean, he does splits like a champion. Forward and back is great. There's a you know, a respectable knee bend, probably not quite 90 degrees, but respectable. The feet are huge. He stands really well. They tilt a little left and right. They certainly go forward. They certainly go back. So a lot of posability there for stability purposes. Posability, playability for this guy, because there are so many options. Again, I'm going to give it, let's say 8.5. The reason I'm not giving it higher is because, you know, you do have the panels here that are a little obtrusive. They can get in the way. The arms do have a bit of a weird shape. The knee isn't quite 90, so we'll say 8.5. So we have an 8.5, we have a 9 for this guy. If you actually end up with the platinum set, you have an 8.5 and a 10 for this guy. It's pretty great. We'll talk about the weapon. Excellent storage. There's a, you know, a 5 or a C clip, sorry. There's a C clip that, you know, clips on like up right here on the back for really excellent storage, and you can bring that down even further, the backpack down a little further. Excellent storage. It also can, if you want, you can turn it and flip it up over his shoulder like a shoulder cannon, which is great. And you can even take it off, and if you want, you know, to use this panel on the side of his arm, I guess I'll show this, even though I don't really think it's that great. There are a couple of little sections right here where you can take your clip and you can clip it on over and give him like a, you know, an arm cannon type of thing, if you're so inclined. I prefer, like I said, having those truck pieces on the back of his arm, not having them flipped around. I like them, you know, I like them on the back of his arm, so that's where I'm going to keep it. And his rifle, you know, I tend to keep it up here, unless of course I put it in his hand, and he does, you know, hold it in his hand, if I can get it. Of course, looking down here now, it does not want to work with me. He does hold it in his hand actually quite well. I just have to get it in his hand. Just like that. There you go. So, I mean, he holds it, you know, he holds it great. And that brings us to transformation. Now, every time I see a review of this guy, I see the transformation going from vehicle to robot. I'm sure that there are reviews out there where, you know, it goes robot to vehicle, or some of them do both. And I understand why you would do it from vehicle to robot, because when this guy was originally released, he was released in vehicle mode. So your first exposure to the transformation would be going from vehicle to robot, which is actually easier than going from robot to vehicle. In the Platinum set, it looks like he's going to start out in robot, so I'm going to show the transformation going from this mode back into his truck mode. It's not a hard transformation, it's just, well, you'll see. It's got a couple of little fiddly pieces. Let's start with the easy part first, because really the way you can go with this guy is from the feet right up to the top. Let's pull out his knees first, and really it's easiest to bend his leg and then just pull the knee, or well, I guess the shin section out. Bend his leg and pull this shin section out. And you have all of this free space in here. Fold up his foot and fold up his foot. Next, these little sections right here, they just go out to the side and out to the side. And now you can straighten his legs out again. Straighten his leg out just like that. You take these two and you have a, you know, a couple of, you know, holes here and a hole up here and a peg here and a peg back here, and you peg his legs together. Now, these were his heel spurs. They also work as his tailgate, so in truck mode he could actually have his tailgate down, which is really nice little feature, but we put them up for now. Now we come to the, I guess, the more challenging section, his upper body. Let's pull the backpack just sort of out of the way for now, so that we can kind of work with his arms a little bit here. Depending on how you had his arms, you know, if you had them the way the transformation says with this piece flipped down behind his hand, then turn that piece up. If you had done like I did, where that piece was on the back of the arm anyway, leave it flipped up. But you're going to have to turn the arms so that that piece is on the outside, because it will now need to tab in on the side of the truck. So we will take that, and for now we will kind of loosely tab it in, but now this is where it gets tricky. You might have to adjust the hands in order for that to really work. You're going to want to, you know, push the shoulder down, and you're probably not going to be able to get it perfect right now. The idea is when you push the shoulder down that there's a little peg on his arm that goes into a hole here on the side. Same on the other side. There's a little peg that goes into a hole on the side of the hip, I guess. They can be a bit of a chore to line up, to be honest with you. A little bit of a chore to line up. Sorry about the little jump cut there, but I had a phone call that I had to take. So where were we? Oh, right, we were dealing with these arms, and I said how they had to peg in, you know, right here, basically. And I said, you'll notice that I'm, you know, fiddling with them a little bit. The hands, that's really why you're going to fiddle with them. It's why I'm fiddling with them. The hands can be a bit of a pain. You really kind of want them at this orientation here, facing out, in order to have it fit in. And you'll notice this one's not like it, so it's not quite fitting in. I will, you know, turn the wrist so that it does face in like that. And I didn't say it during articulation, but obviously the guy has wrist articulation as well. Nice. That's nice. And we should be able to get this door panel to come up around right there. There we go. And they might move slightly, but that's okay. As long as they basically hold, you're good. And this is what we have so far. You can see how it's coming together. Now we come to his center mass. And for robot mode, it's beautiful. You take the head and you put it up, but to go back to truck, obviously you want to put the head down. And this whole piece kind of swivels between the chest. And the chest here is on these two spring-loaded side chest pieces. It's great because they come in automatically for robot mode. It's a bit of a pain when we try to put them back into truck mode, as you are about to see. So we take this center mass and we begin to swivel it back out, because here's your front grille. And you take the hood that is folded down in the backpack and you bring the hood out. Fine, no problem. And this front piece comes up around in between the two chest pieces, and everything looks, you know, looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good. And you would think now all you have to do is tab this in, and that's basically all you need to do, but you're going to have to move these chest pieces, and they're a bit of a pain to do in order to get this to kind of fit properly. So we will take this and tab it in on the back, and you see how it's coming together, and we're going to try and kind of squeeze it down and take out this center chest piece. And really what you're looking to do is, I'm not even sure how to explain it. What you're basically looking to do is get the hood in between those two chest pieces. And like I said, it's tricky. You might even have to pull the arms out like I just had to do. Okay, and now I have it in, and now we have to push those arm pieces back in. If you had them pop out like I just did, you're gonna have to push them back in. And you have tabs up here and you have a tab back here, so I mean they should tab in pretty good, and there's even a tab up front to go in under that chest piece. There you go. You just need to kind of squeeze it all together. And up here, same sort of thing. You have those tabs that need to come in, and you just sort of, bring it in and squeeze it all together, and it should, there you go, squeeze together pretty good. Just like that. Push in the tires on his shoulders if that wasn't done. And boom, there you go, Kup in truck mode. I like this way better than his Cybertronian truck mode. It looks like an old-timey Earth truck. I love it. His transformation, because of those spring-loaded shoulder bits and the little bit of fiddliness that it causes, I would give his transformation, I would give it about an 8. For kids, it's probably going to be a 6 because I think they're really going to struggle with those chest pieces. So I would give his transformation about an 8. So paint app's a 9. Posability, playability, you know, again, you're looking at a good mark of a 9 or a 10. And paint apps you're looking at about, or sorry, transformation you're looking at about an 8. Overall, this guy's about an 8.5 or a 9. He's a great figure. The rifle, well, you have a couple of options for storage. You can either put it on one of these clips up top, as I'm led to believe. Maybe you can't put it on top in this mode. Although I thought you could. Yeah, you can. You can put it up on top like that. That looks silly. So I would never suggest you do that. What is the other option? The other option is beautiful. Here you see a tailpipe. Over here you see a hole. Well, the barrel of the gun can go out through that hole, and if you do that, you'll notice that there is a peg right here next to my finger. And there are holes on the handle of the rifle. So you can take that and put it out there like a second exhaust pipe, peg it on over that hole, and now Kup has 2 exhaust pipes and the weapon is stored nice, neat at a sight. This is a great start to the Platinum Edition Heroes box set. It is a great figure if you manage to snag him on his own. I got him from TF Source for a great price, actually. Very happy I got him. Very happy I got him. Here's the way he should look basically underneath. And I would highly recommend that you get this figure and add Kup to your collection today. So that'll do it for this one. We're going to move on with the next figure that is going to be re-released and showcased in that box set. Let's take a look next at Blur. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for having a visit. And I will see you all the next time we meet inside the videos.